You won't believe how much it's burning.
In a message that seemed like someone else's problem, Lisa, my sister-in-law, sent an image of a house engulfed in flames. Our house.
Why can't you even laugh about this? You've set someone's home on fire!
Lisa, this is crossing a line! From the looks of it, Lisa had been drinking again. The photo she sent showed a house blazing up in flames. As Thomas and I trembled in anger, Lisa was seen laughing joyfully in the background. I was about to scream in fury when something weird caught my attention. This happened several months ago. My name is Nancy. I'm newly married to Thomas. We were living peacefully and considering having children. After a premarital health check, we found out that it would be difficult for me to conceive. I was scared. Thomas might resent me, but he assured me a life with just the two of us will be fulfilling too, and I was moved to tears. We decided to continue infertility treatment for a while, and if it didn't work, we'd come to terms with it. Except one issue troubled our peaceful daily life. That issue was Lisa, Thomas' sister. Lisa is 3 years older than me and is Thomas' sister. While Thomas is incredibly earnest, Lisa is quite the free spirit. Her personality was the cause of their downfall. Lisa, whom I've never met, got divorced. Now, she's living with her parents-in-law near our house along with her 2 kids. Since their house is close to ours, we occasionally go out to eat together or share some homemade dishes. But every time Lisa sees me, she makes snide comments. My husband Thomas had told his parents that I have fertility issues. It was out of concern for me, so I wouldn't be constantly questioned about grandchildren. His parents are very kind people. My mother-in-law, Margaret, even said, "I've heard fertility treatments are tough. Don't push yourself too hard." However, Lisa, who overheard this, would harass me every time we met. She would go on and on about how challenging parenting is. Then she'd always add,
Well, it's a struggle you'll never understand, Nancy. You have fertility issues, after all. Good luck with your treatments.
She'd say it as if she was mocking me. At first, I was shocked. But as she continued saying it, my annoyance turned into anger. Convinced that this woman had no common sense, I decided to just brush off whatever Lisa said. If I had taken her comments head-on, I probably would have ended up yelling at Lisa every time we met. What was even more troubling was her asking us for money. Thomas and I both work, and we're financially stable. We had even bought a new house. Once Lisa realized this, she started asking for money. We politely declined each time, but then she would say things like,
You're so stingy. People with money are always so cheap. It's not like you have kids to spend on.
And she didn't stop there. Now, she started coming to our house without any appointments.
It's kind of hot out. Let me have some lemonade,
she'd say, barging right in. And whenever Lisa left, something was always missing. When I confronted Lisa, she would simply say,
I don't know.
I was convinced Lisa was the one taking things, but I had no proof. Even when I told her to leave, I wasn't strong enough to physically remove her. Lisa's audacity was off the charts. I couldn't help but wonder how Thomas and Lisa, raised by the same parents, could be so different. Once our new home was built, we'd be farther away from my in-laws. I kept telling myself to be patient until then. But even after we moved, Lisa showed up unannounced. I had never given Lisa our address, so when I asked, "How did you find out where we live?" Lisa nonchalantly replied.
I found a note Mom had written.
I could only sigh at Lisa's clinginess. She looked around the house and said,
You guys are definitely wealthy. Thomas works for a good company, and Nancy, you have a decent job too, right? I'm so jealous.
Before plopping herself on the couch like she owned the place. Sitting there like a queen, Lisa asked,
Make some coffee, will you?
Realizing she intended to stay, I said, I wasn't expecting you, so we don't have any coffee. Please leave.
No coffee? Fine. Water will do.
Lisa laughed, then suddenly looked at our yard. The spacious yard was our favorite part of the house. We had talked about playing there with our future kids when we decided to buy the place. Staring at the yard, Lisa looked at me and excitedly said,
That's right. Why don't we call my kids and their friends and have a barbecue here? It would be fun, right?
What?
It'll be a blast. We'll barbecue in the evening and light sparklers at night. The adults can enjoy some drinks. Come on, it will be fun.
Oh no, thank you. Faced with my blunt refusal, Lisa looked annoyed.
Nancy, you're always so irritable. At this rate, I'm not inviting you to the barbecue or to play with sparklers.
I wonder who Lisa thinks is making me irritable. Either way, barbecue and sparklers are absolutely out of the question. Please leave. Lisa kept insisting on having a barbecue and using sparklers. But she eventually left when she saw I was standing firm against it. Typically pushy Lisa. I had a bad feeling something might happen. Weeks later, Thomas and I went on our belated honeymoon. Due to work commitments, this was the only time we could both take off. We toured tourist spots at our destination and returned to our hotel as the sun set. Just when we were enjoying a lovely dinner, my phone rang. The screen displayed Lisa. Assuming she was calling for money or something, I reluctantly answered, Hello?
Hey, just wanted to let you know we're barbecuing in your backyard.
What backyard you are talking about?
Yours and Thomas, of course. You know, I mentioned wanting to barbecue and use sparklers.
I was flabbergasted. Despite my explicit refusal, she had taken advantage of our absence to barge in and have a barbecue and sparklers. I told you, it's not okay. That's trespassing.
Trespassing? Come on, it's my brother's place. That doesn't matter.
Lisa seemed tipsy. Her speech was slurred, and she didn't appear to understand anything I was saying.
Well then, we'll enjoy ourselves.
And she hung up. I reported this to Thomas, and we both tried to contact Lisa, urging her to leave, but got no response. All we could do was spend the night praying her home would be safe. The next day, while heading home after cutting our trip short, we received a call from Lisa as we entered our local town. Hello? Lisa? Why didn't you answer the phone yesterday? We were worried.
Well, you see...
Lisa hesitated, then blurted out something shocking.
Sorry, there was a fire.
What? I put the call on speakerphone so Thomas and I could both hear. Another reason was to record a conversation with Lisa. Apparently, Lisa and the others had a barbecue and were playing with sparklers as planned. Although they assumed it would be fine because many adults were present, all the adults were drunk. In their absence, Lisa's kids started the fire as a prank. By the time they realized it, our house was already burning. Lisa sent pictures.
See how well it's burning? So shocking.
Lisa said as if it were someone else's problem. She still seemed to be drinking.
How can you laugh about this? You burned down someone's home!
Lisa, this is beyond acceptable. The image sent by a drunken Lisa showed our home going up in flames. While Thomas and I fume with anger, Lisa looks amused. grinning from ear to ear. I'm about to let out a yell when something odd occurs to me. Shouldn't the fire department call if your house is on fire? No call came, so we take a closer look at the photo. This isn't our house!
Huh?
Ignoring Lisa's bewildered response, I say to Thomas, look closely, and show him the photo. Thomas examines the photo and mutters, you're right.
No way. I definitely went into your house.
Are you sure you didn't mix it up? Like, not checking the house number sign? At this, Lisa clams up. Our neighborhood has houses that look similar. Lisa has only been to our house once. Chances are, Lisa broke into our neighbor's house by mistake. At this dreadful thought, not just Thomas and I, but even Lisa goes silent for a moment.
What should I do? This is a joke, right?
It's no joke. We don't have that tree in our yard. I'm pretty sure it's the neighbor's house.
Oh no. Am I going to get arrested?
Ignoring Lisa's panic rumbles, we hang up and rush home to verify the facts. When we get home, sure enough, our house is intact while the neighbor's is burned to the ground. Our neighbors look distressed. Seeing us, they hurry over and apologize. They think their house was deliberately set on fire. They were away on a trip and rushed back home after receiving a call from the fire department. As I'm about to mention Lisa, her car screeches to a halt in front of our house. She pulls us aside and pleads,
if you guys keep quiet, no one will know. Don't say anything to the neighbors. Having a family member arrested would be embarrassing for you and Thomas. Just keep quiet and it won't come out.
Thomas and I lock eyes. We both nod firmly and grab Lisa's arms, presenting her to the neighbors. The arsonist is this woman's child.
Why would you say that? There's no proof.
We have proof, Thomas says, pulling out his mobile phone. We had not only listened to Lisa's call on speakerphone, but also recorded it. We never imagined the recording would serve as evidence for arson. Lisa had even mentioned she'd been drinking, implicating her for DUI. The recording clearly revealed that her child set the fire, constituting solid evidence. The neighbors' faces turn red with rage. A flustered Lisa tries to deny.
That voice isn't mine.
The neighbors point to their yard.
We have security cameras in our yard. Even if you deny it, evidence will emerge. You'll pay for this.
As they declare this, Lisa collapses, power draining from her body, and starts crying loudly, but without ever apologizing until the end. After that incident, Lisa was taken away by the police that our neighbors had called. Apparently, she faced fines for trespassing, drunk driving, and even for the small fires set by the kids. On top of that, she was being billed for damages to our neighbors' property and their home repairs. Altogether, the sum she owed skyrocketed to $30,000. With no money to her name, Lisa first turned to parent-in-law for help. Up until now, parent-in-law had occasionally lent Lisa money when she was in a bind, but this time, parent-in-law flat out refused. Regretting years of indulgence, parents-in-law announced that they were severing ties with Lisa. Lisa's kids were deemed unfit to be in her care, and their custody was transferred to her ex-husband. Desperate, Lisa came to us for help, but there was no way we were aiding her. For all we knew, it could have been our house that got torched. Neither Thomas nor I are pushovers willing to help such a person. Mom-in-law had even called us to say, if Lisa comes to you for help, you don't have to assist her. Thomas agreed, declaring he wanted nothing to do with Lisa going forward. Lisa, now abandoned by her children, her parents, and her brother and sister-in-law, was truly alone. She borrowed money from various places to pay her dues, some of which seemed to be shady outfits. For a while, Lisa kept sending desperate messages like,
Can you lend me some money? Just a little would help. Please help me out.
But then one day, her messages stopped coming altogether. Rumor has it she's now working around the clock to pay off her endless debt. It's a harsh world, but people like Lisa may just need that kind of reality check. Thomas and I finally found peace when Lisa stopped coming around. We no longer have to deal with unexpected visits or monetary demands. Life felt exceptionally tranquil. The neighbors rebuilt their home quickly. When we went to apologize, they warmly told us,
It's not your fault. Let's continue to be friends.
And greeted us with smiles. It was a huge relief as we had worried our relationship would sour due to the incident. Adding to our happiness, I found out that my fertility treatment was successful and we're expecting our first child. Our neighbors also got pregnant around the same time, and our babies are due close to each other, deepening our bond even more. As we discussed our kids playing together someday, our neighbors jokingly said,
Barbecues and sparklers are off limits though.
We all burst into laughter.